Here's the entire process of selling a house explained for dummies. And no, you're not a dummy, but I'll be going in depth every single nook and cranny that you need to know. There are 6 steps in total, and most homeowners actually mess up by step 2. Stick around to the end of the video. I'm gonna have some tips and tricks in store for you. But without ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with planning. Planning is so unbelievably important when you're selling a home. Please, 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 this is the time to be organized. Don't be the sloppy mess that you are at work. I'm just kidding. Okay, that's not you, but be organized, right? All starts with planning. We're gonna be going over all the other steps that you do, because when you're planning, you're gonna know everything from start to finish. And that's the goal of planning. It's the most important step, and I can't urge it enough. So you have to start with the prep time, right? How much time do we need to prep and clean the house and so forth and so forth? Then when are we gonna be listed? How long are we gonna be incoming soon and all that good stuff? Marketing, right? How many open houses are we gonna do? What days are it's gonna be? You know, what time works best for your family? And we're gonna go over more on that. Escrow and keys are a bit out of your control until you get to escrow, but at least you could talk with your agent to see what you want and how you feel about it. So to go more in depth, right? How do you plan? What do you even know? What do I need to know? This is what I'm gonna be suggesting. Have a family meeting. Know the times that your family is available and that your family is out of the house. The goal is to have your family out of the house as often as possible so that you could show the house more often. Speak with your family, get to know everybody's timeline. You know, if it's the summer, it's great. Go out, have some fun, do whatever you need to do. Then plan to meet the agent, right? Choose 3 agents, pick the favorite agent that you want to meet. Once you've gotten your agent, this is the bulk. Spend a good 30 minutes with them, kind of talking things out. First of all, prep. I'll give you all of the contacts that you need for prep. Slow down, get a pen out, write it out. Contractor. If you're gonna clean the house, if you're gonna do upgrades, you need a contractor. Deep cleaner. If you don't want to deep clean, it's a lot of work. It's only like 100 to 300 bucks. Get a deep cleaner. They will do it all for you super quick. Photographer. Your agent will have a photographer, but ask for options. Ask for whichever photographers they want to do, you know, and have all of this knowledge up front will save you a lot of stress and headache when it comes time to actually make it happen. Title rep. You don't know what title rep is. Title rep is basically looking at the house's public records and seeing who owns the house, you know, is it gonna go into foreclosure? Are there missing payments and things like that, just to make sure that the house is in good standing. NHD statement. This is an NHD guy. Ask your realtor what that is. And then get to know the mover. Get a mover ASAP. I know we're not closed yet, but it's best to have all of the contacts at your disposal before anything goes wrong. Maybe meet with a lender, one of their preferred lenders. So the lender, in case that the buyer doesn't qualify, you're able to be proactive, and that's the whole point of this, and provide them with a lender that may be able to qualify them so that you don't jump out of escrow. Planning with the family, meet with them, get to know all of the deadlines, the information so that you can plan ahead. Now you're meeting with the realtor. Here are the people again for you. Title rep, NHD rep, mover, photographer, cleaner, contractor, lender. 7 in total. Next step, after you've gotten all that written out from the agent, is to find out how long you'll need, right? Ideally, you want to plan 2-ish weeks. If you're going to do some basic decluttering and cleaning, maybe you're going to paint a little bit of the walls, which I recommend. Plan out exactly how long you need for everything and give yourself more time than less, right? Because we're putting it in a contract. You want to make sure there's more time than less. Listed. When are you going to be listed? This is so important. Avoid the holidays, avoid listing on the weekends, avoid listing at the end of the week. Find out what time works best for your family. Is there any field trips, vacations? Are you out for work? Were you out on a business trip? Anything like that, plan around it. And the marketing, this is so important. I see this happen all the time. You have to be flexible in showing the house, right? You want as many people to be showing the house. So when you're meeting with the realtor, ask them, what's the open house situation? How often will we have open houses? When will the open houses stop? How long will the open houses be? Will it be you or another agent hosting the open house? Have all of this information up front. It really does help. Do you want people wearing shoe covers? Do you want people to not look in the closets? Give all that information up front. That's the marketing, that's the listing, that's the prep. Escrow and keys happen on their own, but there's something we haven't even talked about. Price. Talk to the agent, get an idea of how much your price is, because they will do their own research and find the price that's right for you. I can't give you much on how you should price it. We're gonna go more in depth on how you should price it in Just List. Find out how much you want to sell for, and more importantly, If the house doesn't sell in X amount of days, right? Let's say you plan to have the home listed for 6 months, because then you have vacations and things like that, right? Because you're smart and you're planning. When do I want to have a price reduction? Hey, if my home doesn't sell, I don't want it to sit for 6 months. Can we have a price reduction on month 2? Open house the next week after that, and then we'll just kind of see how it goes, right? This is what I mean by in-depth planning. Don't just plan for when the home is listed, plan for the whole 6 months. That is the goal. Of course, there's some basic information that you can do up front. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but hey, what do I want included in the home? What do I not want included in the home? Is there any solar on the property? Is there any additional information I could give to the realtor so that they know more about the property? The more information you have in this planning step, the better set you are to have a very smooth time selling your home. And now for arguably the second most important thing about the whole process of listing the home, prep. The prep will either make you or break you when you're selling a home, especially if your goal is to get the most amount of money. The prep will kill you if you're not doing it right. So let's go through everything I think that is essential to every home's prep. And then I'll give you that secret that most homeowners kind of overlook when you're prepping the home for sale. Now in the planning stage, I did go over the basic gist of what you need up front, but I'll be going deeper and deeper in depth each and every stage of what you need for each process. So for the prep, no matter what the house is, whether you're selling as is or you're selling contingent to buying another house, here is what I would recommend and what you need to look out for. Decluttering. Decluttering is arguably, it's just a must. You need to. If you've ever stepped into a home and you've seen like dirty magazines at the entrance door because nobody's picking up the new mail, nobody lives in the home, you see cobwebs in the closet, it's just unappealing. Give yourself a week and a half, maybe 2, just to declutter in your off time. Deep clean. A lot of people are kind of controversial against this because they don't want to hire somebody to clean. It costs like $200, maybe less, to deep clean, and they'll really come in and scrub. The key point is that now you have a professional to deep clean your bathrooms and your kitchen. Those are the selling points of a house. It's not the room, it's not the living room, it's not the big chandelier. The kitchen and the bathrooms are the selling point. If they are not sparkly clean, that is a big turnoff for a lot of the buyers that are walking into the home. And for me, as the realtor who comes in and sees, yellow stains on the toilet, you just don't want it. It's a horror. Declutter and de-clean. Paint. Paint is almost optional, but I almost recommend it like 65% of the time. A fresh coat of paint is not gonna cost you a fortune. You're probably gonna do everything white, or you're gonna do everything gray or beige or some neutral tone color, because neutral makes the rooms feel bigger. Whether or not you have a bunch of junk everywhere, which you shouldn't since you cleaned, it will feel a lot bigger in the eyes of a buyer. That's like essential, right? So paint, I highly recommend it. Get both the deep clean and the painting professionally done. And photos. You already spoke with your agent about this. You should know who's the photographer. You should have planned the date that you want to take photos. And the last one, again, this is that hidden secret homeowners are overlooking pretty much on a daily basis. It's not anything new, but it's something that I want to touch upon. It's staging the home. Staging is incredibly important. And I'm not talking about the broad idea of staging, partial staging. Let me explain. If you're able to move out the house or to empty the home, and the last part is not staging. Yes, this is the last part of staging, but it's actually selling your furniture. That's what homeowners overlook. Selling your furniture before you sell your house. A lot of the furniture, I'm sure it's already old. Guys, don't be clinging on to it unless it's your grandma's vintage, sofa with flower petals as a design. Go ahead and save it. But for the most part, you should sell a lot of your furniture, get a clean slate, go to the new house, get the money, afford partial staging. If you could sell most of your furniture, maybe you have the living room clean, but you still have your beds there, clean out the living room and stage it partially. A full staging of a home could be anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000, and then $1,500 every month. So it's expensive, but it's worth it because you will save a lot more money. You will sell faster and you're gonna sell for more. Statistically, and research has shown, staged houses sell 36% faster, and on average 42% more than homes that are not staged. That's a lot of money. That's more than whatever commission an agent can ever offer, 2-3%. Who gives a crap if you're getting 42% more? So look into it. If you do a partial staging, which most homeowners aren't looking into, you can instead pay $1,000, $1,500 the first month, $500 every month after that. And you still get the effect of a fully staged home. Why? Because you're gonna have cleaned your room so good, it's gonna look like it was brand new furniture. Also give you a bonus tip, something that you should do in the prep stage. It's paperwork. Ask your agent upfront, what's all the paperwork I'm going to need in escrow? Can we sign it now? What can we sign now? That will make your life so much easier when you actually get into escrow, because you're doing this. Step 2, I mean, you're not even close, you're not even listed yet. You have all of the paperwork done. You have literally nothing to worry about other than showings, which you have already planned out with your agent in advance. It is the smoothest, easiest process anyone can ever imagine. Get a lot of the paperwork done, and trust me, there is a lot. If you're planning on reading every single contract, you're gonna spend a good amount of time on this. You might actually need the full 4 weeks just to read through every single contract. Now you're on to step 3, and I'm proud of you. You pretty much went through most of the hard work. Now it's as easy as listing, right? So when you were planning with your agent, what you should have already spoken with when you're planning kind of like the dates of when you listed is the coming soon. Am I gonna have a coming soon? How long is the coming soon? It could be a maximum of 2 weeks, right? But definitely have a coming soon. So have 1 week of a coming soon campaign where your agent can blast home throughout the brokerage. They could blast it online, on social media. They could do all of the buyers and things like that. And I've seen a lot of homes actually get offers before they officially list, and they're just in coming soon. So always, always, always have a coming soon, at least 3 days to really build up some hype for when you're gonna come onto the market. But the rest of this process is pretty straightforward. What I'm gonna include in the listing process of getting just listed is the very first open house. That is essential. It should have you just listed on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Because the idea is to have a very big open house on the very first weekend, Saturday and Sunday, from let's say 11 to 5. It's gonna be a very, very long open house. And that is the 2 days that they have a time frame to get you an immediate offer. That is like the most important part of the whole thing, because you just have so much hype. You're a new listing, it's fun, it's exciting, there's new photos for people to look at. You wanna make sure that this is done well. So for this big open house, of course, what I'd recommend, at least 4 hours plus, have some food, have some drinks, light some candles. The home should already be presentable from the time you took pictures. But if there isn't, do any last minute changes that you need to do to the home, and trust your agent. Let them come in a couple of minutes earlier, prep up the house, move the chairs where the chairs need to be, and make the home look super nice. You know, they're gonna put out 20 signs, and your agent should put out 20 signs. If not, don't hire them. 20 signs, you know, their for sale sign is already up on the property, and you're ready to have like the best open house of their time. They know how to host it, good music, do anything you can to accommodate them in being able to host the open house, make it as easy as possible and be as flexible as possible. And of course, being free this weekend is part of the planning process that you should have done in part 1. And again, as a bonus tip that I'd like to give you in case your agent didn't bring it up, is the idea of a broker's open. A broker's open is not open to the general public. It's not open to anyone who wants to walk in, give an offer, looky-loos. It's only open to agents and brokerages. That's why it's called a broker's open. Typically held on a weekday, whether it was Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, but it's to build up some hype with the realtors so that they can then present it to their clients and make the open house even busier. So what I would always recommend, again, be listed on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, have a broker's open on Thursday, and a big, massive open house Saturday and Sunday. That's the best way to get the highest chance of an offer your very first week of listing. Offer deadline. If your house hasn't been listed for a long, long time, you know, this is the first time the house is selling in 19, 20, 21 years, have an offer deadline, right? You're doing so much work the first week that you're listed. You have these long open houses, long hours for your realtor. We want an offer as quick as possible. If we're gonna have a broker's open on Thursday, big open house Saturday and Sunday, make the offer deadline Tuesday. Tuesday morning, 8 a.m., have the offer into us. That puts the move back onto the buyers to say, hey, we've done everything. We've done so much work to make this so successful. We need you to do your part. If you really liked it, if you saw everyone that came through and you know that we have a lot of offers coming in, give us an offer by Tuesday. We're gonna get this home sold, whether or not you wanna give us an offer, but we wanna give you a chance and a deadline. What this does is now all the buyers saw all the other buyers at the open house. They know how successful it was. They know how many people want the actual home. This is gonna provoke them, almost encourage them to give you an offer. By Tuesday, right? I saw it on Sunday afternoon. Now I had to give you an offer and complete it by Monday, send it in, have it done, reviewed by Tuesday. That's so quick, but that's the point. The idea is you want at least 3 to 6 offers, because you get multiple offers. Let's say you're listed at $1 million. You say, hey, realtor, I'm okay with selling at $1 million, but you got 3 offers, all at $1 million. So you go back to them and you counter all of them, multiple counter offer, and you say, hey, give me your highest and best price. Your agent will work their magic. Hopefully he's telling everybody, hey, we got 3 offers. I want you guys to come up a little bit. And ideally, you're gonna sell $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 above your listing price. That's why we're putting so much work into planning, prepping, and making sure that this first week is amazing, because that is quite literally the most important thing that you have for a new listing. Right, and now you finally get to the marketing of the actual property. Now, the marketing of the property shouldn't be so complicated. Let me break it down super easily for you. 1, you wanna make sure you put all of your belongings away, okay? Don't just hide them away. People look through your drawers. Put them in boxes. Put them in boxes, preferably put them all in the garage. Put all of your stuff in garage. Everything that you don't need, all the clothes, everything that's excessive, declutter the shit out of your home. It should already be decluttered, right? Make sure all of this is actually put away. For the marketing, be flexible for showings. Let a lot of people tour whenever the hell they want to tour. Be clear with your agent what times you're gonna be out of the house. That's what you do in the planning and the prepping, and just follow along through it. Let them host open houses every weekend. It really does help a lot to bring traffic in, bring you a buyer. Let them do what they want. This is really where the agent gets to shine in themselves. Ask about what their marketing strategy is, what they're gonna be doing for your marketing. Are they gonna be doing paid ads? Really get to know and see for yourself if it makes sense. All realtors do the same thing. They buy and sell real estate. The devil is in the details, right? So this one is really reliant on your agent. What you could do on your part as a seller is just to be really flexible with a lot of the timings for showings. And now is everybody's favorite part, escrow. While you're doing your marketing, you should be getting a lot of offers from your agent. If you did the prep right and you were doing the buyer's broker open, you were doing the open house, you should have offers by your 2nd to 3rd week of being listed, multiple offers. What your agent will do and what you're gonna encourage them to do is get them to go into a bidding war. What that basically means is you're gonna go to all of these different kind of buyers, and you're not gonna say, hey, you're the highest offer, I wanna accept you. No, you're gonna get the highest dollar amount for your home. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put out seller multiple counter offer. Right? Your agent will always give you options. They're never gonna make a decision for you. They're just gonna give you advice and options. Go for the seller multiple counter offer. You wanna go back to these 3, let's say 3 buyers, for example, got you offers, right? You wanna go back to all 3 of them and say, hey, I'm not gonna disclose what the highest offer is. I want you to come up with your best and highest offer. I'm going to give the home to the highest bidder. And then you're gonna get the contingencies that you want. It's important to kind of understand what contingencies are. Basically, in the short term, the shorter, the better. You should kind of remember from the time you had bought the home, but the shorter the contingencies, the better. As the seller, if you have multiple offers, it's your time to actually leverage those offers against the other buyers. And that's how you're gonna sell for the most amount of money. That's how you see homes sell 100,000, 200,000 above asking value, is because they've done everything, all the steps from 1 through 4. And when it comes time to go into escrow, they're already prepared. They know what they wanna do, right? And if you really did all of your prep work, by the time you're in escrow, you should have already have all the paperwork done. So there's not really much for you to do. If there's any kind of situation that pops up during escrow, it's kind of a case-by-case scenario, but don't be greedy. If you accept the highest offer, get 2 to 3 as a backup. Don't just let them go away. Let them give you a backup offer. Say, hey, we really like this guy. I'm not sure if they're gonna close completely, so could I have you as a backup offer? If you end up getting a backup offer, you're gonna buy the home for less than what this guy's paying anyway, right? So I wanna give you the opportunity. Get yourself a backup offer in case this one's fall through. If they have a bunch of unreasonable repairs that you kind of don't want to, accept, that's up to you really to decide. I would say it's always better to just be as flexible as possible. Don't try to greed. This isn't the time to kind of hardball people. It's business. Everything in business is win-win. You try to make, they win, you're out the house for whatever reason that you want to be out the house. Point case, you just have an offer. Escrow is simple, follow instructions, you're gonna get done super soon. I think you guys are excited for the 6th step. Now I named this step keys because it's kind of like the easiest to remember, but for you as the seller, this is your moving time, right? You have an end date in mind, the contingencies are closed, you know everybody's set, you're ready to close, all your paperwork is done, they've done all their inspections, they need a final walkthrough. Keep everything the same as it is. You don't want anything wrong happening at the final walkthrough. Don't let the kids run around, rummage, bump things, move things. Don't bump into the walls and the corners as you're moving things in and out. You want it to be the same as the buyer had found it, just like when you had bought the home, right? Make sure that's good. Coordinate with that mover. Now is the time to start thinking, hey, one and a half weeks before you close, talk to the mover. Look forward to the closing. This is a super fun time. Your home's gonna close on, the 5th, your paycheck, the money will come in on the 6th or the 7th. Takes a little bit longer. And you're pretty much done. There's not much to do once you're in escrow. A lot of the work happens before escrow, and that's why the planning was just so important, right? Once you're in escrow, you're just basically following instructions. The hard work has been done. Let's just relax, have a simple closing. Don't give anybody no trouble.